Have Travel Memories YouTube show. So thrilled you get to join us again, where we get to talk about lots of cool travel opportunities for you from Have Travel Memories. I am Paul Stadden. I'm so thrilled to be joined by Jodelle. And of course, we have a wonderful guest today, Phil Swartz, who, if you want to know about cruises, this man has been to about every continent and he knows cruises. And so I'm really thrilled to be talking about this stuff because we want to continually get past COVID and get back into traveling. So Jodelle, I'm thrilled to be joining you today, and I'm thrilled to be talking with you as well, Phil. And let's talk about some cruises. Let's talk about where we can go around the world, guys.
Thank you, Paul. Today, I have a very special guest. It is Phil Swartz. He is my co-host with the river cruise that I've been talking about. If you've been reading my editorials in the Destin Life, I have mentioned this cruise. I know quite a few of you have been to our website. You've looked at what we've got there, and I know you're interested in this river cruise. It's coming up in May. We have a few cabins left on this cruise, and I've had a lot of questions, so I thought, well, I'm going to invite the expert, and that would be Phil Swartz, because he has actually done this very same river cruise many times. So he has personally put this together based on his own experience. He will be with us, and he will be giving us details that you will never get if you do this trip in any other way. This is on Viking. It is May 20th of this year. As we're coming down off the pandemic, we are ready to go. And this will be our chance to go to Europe and be able to cruise the Danube on a beautiful Viking ship, where we will be able to see and experience that wonderful part of the world with somebody who has done it many times. So with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Phil as he talks about this Danube River cruise that will include the amazing Oberammergau Passion play. So Phil, start telling us all about this.
Well, Jodelle, I am so glad to be with you today, and we're going to have a great time on this, and you and I are hosting this together, so this will be extra special fun. So I'm going to share my screen here and give you a little preview of things as we go here. So I'll just run through this quickly. I could spend about 3 hours on this. It's an amazing place to go, the Danube River, if you've never been there. Just lots of sights to see and so on. So we'll just take a quick run down the river and take a look at it. We're going to start right here, as you can see, in Budapest, and then we'll head down the river. The dates again are May 20th to 30th this year. So it's 10 nights total, 7 nights on the river itself, and then 3 nights on land with some extra special places to go to. So it will be great. The ship that we'll be on is a Viking tour. It looks like this. Less than 200 people on it, which makes it really nice. So there's plenty of space for everybody, and lots of crew to take care of you and everything. Okay, starting then in Budapest. Budapest is just a wonderful place to visit. 2 sides of the Danube River runs right down through the middle. Buda on the one side, Pest on the other side. And at night, it's a wonderful place because they light up all the buildings along the river, and it's just a very magical place. So you visit places like the Stone Bridge and Fisherman's Bastion and St. Stephen's Cathedral. We'll go out to Hero Square and visit all of the heroes of the past for Hungary. And then, of course, you can't miss the great marketplace. Right by the river, 2 stories. It has all the food you could possibly want there, so you can taste their paprika and their goulashes and so on, and then all kinds of materials and special things that you might want to buy and take along home. Anyway, so after we spend a day in Budapest, then we'll head on to Vienna. And Vienna, what is there to say there? You have to spend a couple of days there because there's all kinds of things to visit there. The St. Stephen's Cathedral, and of course the palaces, and lots of evening things, and wonderful, wonderful food to eat. So you won't want to miss that either. Might even want to go out to the famous Spanish riding school that's right in the palace there. So it's a great place to be. Or go see an evening show, maybe some Mozart's or something like that, some Strauss. And then we'll head on to Little Town. We've been in Budapest, bigger city. Vienna, bigger city. Now we go into a little town called Krems. Krems is just a small place, but a wonderful place to visit all the shops, little cafes along the sides and so on. So it's just a wonderful place. This is the gateway into the city itself, into the town, I really should say. Okay. And beautiful abbeys in there, very colorful. And you'll want to visit those. And of course, take part in their very, very special apricot wines. They're made there by the monks, and so you won't want to miss that. Then we'll head on down the river. This is the Wachau Valley. Gives you a little idea of the area that we'll be sailing through and all the vineyards along the way. And every time you turn a corner, there's little castles and ruins and towns and so on to visit. So the next place we're going to come to then is Passau. Passau is kind of cool because it's where 3 different rivers all meet. That's the Danube in the middle here, okay, and the Inn and the Is River coming into the Danube itself. So it has a wonderful cathedral that has the largest pipe organ in Europe. It's over 17,000 pipes in this pipe organ. So it's a great place to go and hear a little concert if you want to. Great walking town. You have lots of places. This is one of my favorite walks right here, right along the river. So it's a great way to spend a day there. This is the old stone bridge. And it's kind of back from the 1600s, and it makes its entryway right into the city here. And so lots of wonderful places here in Regensburg now we're in to visit. But I'll tell you what, you can walk around, see all these half-timbered houses and so on. But one of my favorite places is this tiny little place down by that stone bridge. Stone bridge was built in the 1600s, and they needed a way to feed the workers, so they built this little kitchen here, and it's a sausage kitchen. So sauerkraut, sausage, and rolls. And it became very popular with the workers, and the town people started wanting to eat there, so they started selling food to the town people, and it's been going ever since. And they still have the ladies in there making the sausages. Don't those look delicious? Okay. So absolutely take time to grab a few sausages. It's not hard to order. You just sit down, they come over, and your choice is how many sausages do you want? 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12. That's your only choice, okay? So sausage, sauerkraut, best sauerkraut I ever ate. Have a nice beer with it, and it's a wonderful one. Let me show you a little bit about the ship itself that you're sailing on. Just a few inside pictures I thought would be helpful. So this is the main area that has the registration, the front desk, and so on there. Don't you love the clean lines and so on? Here's the dining room. And you can sit wherever you want to, with whoever you want to. Totally open seating here in the dining room. Then there's a whole lounge where you can go, of course, and have something to drink at the bar there. But also that's where evening entertainment comes in. They bring in local entertainment right from the shores there. So you'll see what's local to the area for your entertainment. There is a library on board where you can get books about the local area. And of course, there's 24-hour coffee and tea bar. Just help yourself whenever you want to. You head upstairs, and out front, there's another alternative eating area called the Pkwy Terrace. And this is breakfast, lunch, and dinner out here. And you'll see these big glass windows here. Well, if it's nice weather, they just open these up. And of course, then it flows right outside to have some outside seating. So on a nice evening, maybe it's a great time to be outside as you're cruising along the river and have a wonderful dinner right out there. The whole top deck of the ship is a sun deck. So great place when you're sailing to go up and watch what's happening on either side of the river as you're sailing along. And yes, for you golfers, there is a putting green up there. And you'll see also there the chef's herb garden. He grows his own herbs right on board there. Few facts about sailing along here. There's a shore excursion included every day. So, of course, all your meals are included, and then you have this one shore excursion every day you can take if you want, and it's included in the price. There are some other optional shore excursions. So if you say, well, I want to do the tour into Salzburg, okay, that's a little longer. It's a motor coach ride to get in there for the day, so they do charge a fee for that. So there would be additional shore excursions that you can opt to take if you want to. Okay, so you have that, as I said, multiple dining venues, wine, beer, soft drinks, all of that is included with lunch and dinner. Okay, and then specialty coffees and teas, of course, are included, and free Wi-Fi, so you can stay in touch with everyone back home, send your emails, get on Facebook, see what's happening, that kind of thing. Okay, so we've now traversed 7 days on the river cruise, and we get to Regensburg, last place we were at, and we'll get off there and we'll motor coach in here to Munich. Okay, and Munich is a wonderful place to visit. Lots of museums. This is the town square, as you can see there. So we'll visit different places there. Go out to the Olympic Park, the old Olympic Park, and we'll have lunch up here in the Spear, whatever it's called there. Okay, there's a restaurant up there. So we'll visit that and do touring of Munich, and then we'll overnight in Munich. Now, the next day, then, we're going to get up from Munich, and we're going to head up here near the Alps, in the foothills of the Alps, the Bavarian forests up there, and we're going to visit a couple castles on this day. One is a Neuschwanstein castle, which you look at that and you say, boy, that looks familiar, doesn't it? Well, there is a reason. That's right. That's Cinderella's castle. That's where Walt Disney got the inspiration for Cinderella's castle. So here you see Cinderella's castle on the right, Neuschwanstein on the left, and you can see, yeah, that makes sense. That's where it came from. So it's a great place to visit. We'll tour some of the rooms in there, learn the history of the area and so on. Then we'll get on the coach and go over to another place called Linderhof Palace and Gardens. Beautiful, beautiful gardens all around here. And the palace itself has some very lovely rooms in it, and very unusual. This is one of the rooms that has a pool in it inside the palace itself. So even back then, they had some luxuries going on. Okay, so we'll visit the grounds and so on there. And then we're going to head in for 2 nights into little town of Oberammergau. Now, Oberammergau itself, it's in the foothills of the Alps there, the Bavarian forest, and it looks like this. So it is just a cute little German village. And it's nice and peaceful most of the time. Okay, here's some pictures from around town that I took, and lots of buildings with lots of artwork on it. It's just lovely to walk around, see the half-timbered houses and some of these venues that have this on. But once every 10 years, it just springs to unbelievable life, because it's the Oberammergau Passion Play. Now, all the Passion Plays that you've seen in churches and towns and so on throughout time, they all originated from this one Passion Play. This is a theater that it's in, and I'll take you inside there, give you a look at it. Yeah, it has a very, very large stage on it. This is a huge production that happens once every 10 years. So all the years ending in 0, okay? Now, this year is a little exceptional because we know what happened with the last year that ended in 0. 2020, everything got canceled. So they pushed it back to 2022. And so that's why we're able on this trip, if you'd like, to take in the Passion Play. We've included tickets to the Passion Play as part of this. If you're not interested in that, that's fine. Do other things in town, Oberammergau that day. But if you're interested, it has a great, great history. This Passion Play started way back in the 1630s. Okay, 1630, 31, the Black Plague was coming through Europe, killing one out of every 3 people, and the plague was hitting everywhere, including this little town. Little town didn't know what to do about it, so they got together and they prayed to God and said, if you will spare any more deaths in our town, we promise we will put on a festival every 10 years that is in celebration of the last 7 days in the life of Jesus. Okay, so this, of course, is an artist's depiction of the first one they put on in 1634. They actually put it on a platform that was over top of the graves of the people that had died in the Black Plague. So kind of interesting. So every 10 years, they put on the Passion Play, and it grew and grew and grew and grew. And then they decided to move it to the years ending at 0. Here's a rendition of what it may have looked like in 1820, jumping on ahead into the 1880 version of it. There was over 100,000 visitors that year that came to see the Passion Play. Of course, multiple performances all through the summertime. When that Queen Victoria from Sweden came that particular year and so on. Jumping on ahead, in 1934, they had done the Passion Play in 1930, and they thought, you know, we ought to do a special one in 1934 because that would be the 300th anniversary of the start of the Passion Play. So they put one on in 1934, and guess who showed up? That's right, Adolf Hitler. Okay, so he showed up for it, and he had a little different take on it. It was like, oh, you see how the Romans were able to put down that swarm of Jews, you know, type of thing. So anyway, in 1940, it was canceled because of World War II. Okay, but in 1950, it came back again, stronger than ever. This was the orchestra and the choir for that year, and guess who was not there? That's right, Adolf Hitler. But guess who was there? That's right. Dwight D. Eisenhower and his wife were there for the 1950 performance. Okay, here's a picture from 1990 as it progresses on. By then, we have 480,000 people coming to 98 different performances of the Passion Play there. 2010, which was the latest one that was on, all kinds of wonderful people and dignitaries there. As you can see here, Chancellor Merkel and many others that were there for it. So you can see it's a great, exciting Passion Play that gets put on there every 10 years. And so the mother of all Passion Plays, you'll have the opportunity to be there in May if you'd like. Okay, so that's kind of an overview then of this private hosted group. Joe Dow and I will be hosting it, and we love for you to come along with us. So just get a hold of Joe Dow. I know she's going to tell you how to do that and so on, and experience these two lifetime experiences, really. A great river cruise on the Danube River, and also visit this little town of Oberammergau in the Bavarian Alps. So Joe Dow, what do you think? You ready to go?
Oh, Phil, I am so excited. I can't believe that it's only barely 3 months away before our tour. I've already got my air booked, and I'm going to start packing. Phil, tell us a little bit about what the weather might be like in May.
Well, in May in that area, it's usually around 70, 72 degrees for the high. So it won't be real hot, okay? But it won't be real cold either. So very, very pleasant weather. And usually the chances of rain are less during that month. That's one of the reasons we picked that. So it should be an ideal time to be there. Probably the upper 60s and lower 70s is the temperatures that we'll experience.
So basically, bring sweaters, pack in layers, comfortable shoes. There will be quite a bit of walking. However, Phil, it's not a hard walk.
No.
What's the activity level like?
It's a very medium. We have many people in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s that go along on these trips. And there's different levels. For instance, I mentioned about the included excursion. Let's say we're in a little town of, the Regensburg, for instance. We're going to do a walking tour through town. They have different levels of groups. So you have the normal walking level groups, and then you have what we call the gentle walkers. Okay, so people that are going to slow down, take their time, and then if it's a rough stretch or a longer period, they may have a trolley that they ride on instead of walking the whole way. So it accommodates everyone that way.
Oh, great. I can't wait for this. I am so excited to see the Passion Play too. This is a once in a lifetime experience. It's one thing to go on a river cruise, but to go with an expert, your own personal tour guide who knows the ins and outs of where to go and what to do, it not only saves you time because you're not trying to figure it out, but it makes it much more enjoyable. So your memories will last a lifetime, and you'll come home and you'll talk about this for a long time. This little town of Oberammergau, the population is barely over 400, or was 4,000.
About
It's like
4,000.
4,500. Yeah, about 4,500 to 4,700 people live in Oberammergau. Now, in order to be in this performance of Oberammergau, you have to be a citizen. You have to be born there or married to somebody who is from there. The only people that really get to be in that play without question are the children of Oberammergau. Most of the children are participating in it. They just grow up with it. But the performers in there are the local villagers. And they work on this for a long time. Of the whole year that it's performed, they are working on it. All of the beards and everything are authentic. There's no wigs, there's no fake beards. This is as authentic as possible. Even the production crew are from Oberammergau.
Yeah, it's interesting. All the men in Oberammergau, the town itself, it's a regulation there that for a year before the play, they're not allowed to cut their beards or their hair. So they have to grow it all out for a year.
It's called the beard decree.
Yeah, it
is a very real thing. So when you see this performance, you can really feel what they're trying to portray because of their thankfulness that their little town was spared during the plague, that they prayed. And honestly, there wasn't one death after that, was there, Phil?
No, they had people get sick, but no one died in the little
Nobody
town.
died.
At that point. Yep.
Yeah. And those, this entire world is just coming down off of a pandemic, which isn't as severe as the plague, but we know what it's like to be afraid of getting sick and dying. So to me, I was thinking how appropriate this is. As I go and participate in that passion play, I will have a feeling, a little bit of what it could be like and what it must have been like for them.
That's right. That's right. I'm sure we'll talk a lot about that when we're there too.
Yes. So the entire village participates. If they're not on the stage, they're hosting the visitors. They're feeding them. They've got their hotels. Phil, tell us a little bit about the hotels that we'll be staying in.
Well, the hotels there isn't very many great big hotels, as you can imagine, in and around Oberammergau. Okay, so the hotels are typically smaller, 30, 40 rooms in it at max. A lot of them are less than that. Dozen, 15, 20, and they all have their own personality. So the pictures that we were looking at of the town itself give you an idea of the type of places that you stay in there. Yeah.
And the hotels are included.
Oh yeah. All the hotels are included. Most of your meals are included. All the meals, of course, on the river cruise, that's all included and so on. And then when we get off, the lunches are not included. Those are on your own. So we're in town there, and of course, we'll give you some ideas of here. If you want light salads, go over here. If you want, fast food, go over here. If you want a nice sit down lunch, go over here. Go to the winery, whatever you want.
So before we leave and end this, would you just tell us a little bit about Viking and the ship?
Well, we saw some pictures of the ship itself. It's 440 feet long. So the river cruises are very long. They're not very tall because they have to go under all the bridges. So it's only 3 decks, okay, you're talking about. And then they're not very wide either because they have to fit into those locks along the river that go up and down. So you'll experience some of that also, even places where we're going under a bridge and they have to get everyone off the sun deck and fold all the railings down to fit it under, things like that. It's great food. You have both local food and then some very common, if you want a steak or whatever, that's all there for you also. So it's all included on that.
Okay. Well, I am excited about this. I cannot tell you how much I've been looking forward to it. We had it booked in 2020 and it was canceled, as we all know why, but we've hung on to it. We've kept it, and we are going to go this year, aren't we, Phil?
That's right.
We
It's only a
are going
couple
to
months
go.
off, so if it's something you want to do, get a hold of Jodelle right away. There's only only a couple cabins left, really. So,
Yeah.
so get a hold of Jodelle right away.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Phil, for taking your time today to share this with us. Your pictures are absolutely stunning. I felt almost like I was on the ship itself, sailing down the Danube.
Well, glad to be with you.
So you'll be able to find the information in the link below. To get a hold of us, email, call. We will definitely be able to answer your questions and get you booked on this amazing once in a lifetime inclusive experience.
You heard Jodelle. Click the link now, right below in the description, because I don't know about you, I don't think I want to miss one of those cabins. Of course, you're going to have to beat me to the punch because I think I'm going to be clicking on that link myself. So thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much, Jodelle. This sounds like an incredible, really once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, the next one is not going to come around for another 8 years at the soonest. So this is your opportunity to do so. We thank you again for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe on this video as well, because when you like these videos, we know that we're doing the kind of stuff you want to see. And make sure that you send us any comments or questions that you have. We would love to hear from you because we want to make sure that we are going where in the world you want to go as well. Thank you so much, and we're going to be back with more episodes of Have Travel Memories here on YouTube. And thank you so much again, Phil and Jodelle, for talking about this really cool, amazing cruise. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.